Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we are here every week bringing you adoptable animals from your animal shelter, the Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue. And our first guest is Tigerlily, and the shelter gets about 200 or 300 puppies every year, and we consider puppies to be all dogs under a year old. So some of our puppies are pretty big, close to 10 to 12 months old. This one's a real baby. She is only 12 weeks old, and she is obviously American Pit Bull Terrier. She's chocolate in color, almost black, and she is very attracted to people, which is great. And you'll hear a lot of stuff about temperament testing in puppies, and it is kind of scientifically questionable because no one's really done the research to show that these temperament tests predict future behavior. In adult dogs, they have done some research to say that it's almost impossible to predict if a dog will bite in the future. And that's because you can't tell what kind of situations they might be put into. But one of the things that temperament testing and behavior assessment does do for us is tell us some of the basics, like does this puppy prefer to be with people or to be with toys? And she prefers to be with people. And those are some things you will want to know on our behavior assessment sheet when you're choosing a pet for your family, because it may seem a no-brainer. Oh, well, she prefers to be with people. That's the puppy for me. Well, if you work 8 hours a day, then you're going to make this puppy very sad, because the 8 hours a day you sleep and the 8 hours a day you work, she can't be with people, which is what she prefers. So if you are interested in a puppy, we can talk to you all about how to read the behavior assessment, how to best check. Now, she is enjoying herself right now, and I can tell you, you are very likely to see her pee in a minute because she's a baby. So what I would do if she was my own puppy and I had her in my house is that I would take her outside and let her pee. Randy did let her go before she came in. But then you got to watch her very carefully for sniffing the ground and walking in a circle. If you see that, you're going to scoop her up and take her outside. Now, sure enough, she's going to go outside, and you should give her a food treat, because otherwise you are not telling her, paying her for the behavior that you want, and it will not take long for a puppy of her age to understand that when she urinates or defecates on grass, she will be paid for that. But it is going to take a couple months before she understands that if she goes in the house, she'll get in trouble, and what she should do about that is to tell you in advance of needing to go. She's way too young for that. So one of the reasons people don't get tiny puppies is that they are not prepared for the level of supervision that it's going to require to take her from this age to the age where she no longer goes to the bathroom in your house. So if you are up for that, if you've done it with a kid, you've done it with another puppy, then you'll have no problem. But if you've never done it before, you should really sit down and talk to us about what it takes to make it easy on yourself and to make it happen as quickly as possible. She will not be reliable left alone unsupervised for about 6 months. So imagine what your life looks like that you can't leave her alone for 6 months, and figure out how you could offer that in a normal life. A lot of people can't get a tiny puppy because they just can't rearrange their life to that extent. But if you want to do it, there's puppy daycare, dog walkers, flexible schedules, working from home, whatever options you have to get a baby puppy and make it go quickly. Sure, plenty of people keep a puppy like this crated for the day, and then they spend all of their rest of their waking hours, including well into the night, with the puppy to make up for that. And you can do that too. It's just a big commitment on your part, and in 6 months you'll be really tired and she'll be a really awesome dog. and you will be well on your way to having a big girl. Our next guest is Zeus. And I know that you all thought how cute Tigerlily was and how much you would love to hold her on your lap and help her through her house training and teach her to sit when you ask her to so that you could have this. And right now you're saying, wow, that's really a big dog. This is the future for Tigerlily. Zeus is only 6 months old, and he does sit when you ask him to. He's well on his way to house training. He also has an affinity for people and a great tail wag. And he is going to make somebody a really great puppy. So if you want a puppy, but you don't want to suffer through the constant supervision for house training, then you might want to consider a puppy in his teenage months. And he is a beautiful dog. This brindle coloring is very popular. And he is, as you can see, learning many, many things that Tigerlily has yet to see. And as with Tigerlily, we're going to take 4 applications for him and pick the best match because at this age, he doesn't have the advantage of being so helpless and tiny that someone will be completely attached to him by the time he gets to this age. You're getting him at this age. So you're going to have to be willing to give him lots of exercise and things to do, maybe hide some toys so that he can find them, hide some treats so he can work his nose, and he is ready to go now. He doesn't need to be sheltered from the weather on walks. He doesn't need to wait until his shots take effect to meet other dogs. He can go out and about now and be a great companion for you at this time. He still does need some supervision because he's young and he might do things impulsively, but it'll be a lot of fun teaching him how the world works and controlling his tail. You are a good boy. Our next guest is Ace, and Ace has been is presenting his good side to you by camera. If you notice, his foot is all trimmed up. His fur is all brushed and shaped, and his other side is not groomed yet. So we have, our staff is always willing to go that extra mile and make them more comfortable. This is a Shetland sheepdog, and Shelties are not miniature collies, although that's what they look like. They look like a rough collie, only in small. They are their own breed of dog, used for sheep herding, just like collies are. And Ace is about 7 to 9 years old, and he came to us from a family who has only had him for about 4 months. They found him, and they kept him for a while, tried to find his owner. They said he's great with kids, he's house trained, he's crate trained, but they just weren't able to care for him long term. So we are going to have some procedures done to him next week. Uniting to Save Animals is going to pay for him to get his teeth cleaned. He's already neutered. They found him already neutered, so we don't need to do that. But he has, you know, has spent a lifetime in places we don't know, and at this point appears to be lacking in some basic vet care, which U2SA is going to provide, and we are happy to help them do that. We've had our vet look at him, and obviously our groomer is working on him, and I think he's going to make someone a really great pet. Shelties are wonderful dogs. They tend to be vocal, but Ace doesn't seem to have that trait at this point. He may develop it once he's brave and in a home that he knows is his own territory.
He's a little shy.
But yeah, he's a little shy. And we're guessing at his age since the people who brought him to us found him. And I actually think he's going to look a lot better once he's on a good diet and has his teeth taken care of, and his skin gets back in shape, and it'll be a lot better for him once he has a permanent place to live, as it is for all of us when we can get that.
Look at that face. That's such a sweet face.
Our next guest is Annie, and Annie is a beagle, as you can plainly see. She was adopted from the shelter a couple of months ago, and she is a puppy, and she is a perfect example of why we take 4 applications and try to make the best match we can. Nationwide, 10% of dogs get returned to shelters. We are very lucky at Frederick County Animal Control that we keep it well below 10%, but we do have about 10% of our puppies returned. And it just seems that no matter how hard we try to convey, for a normal, typical busy family with 2 parents working and kids at school, puppies just don't work out because of one thing. They don't get trained. And the reason they don't get trained is because you don't have time. If you're gone for 8 hours a day plus a commute, you do homework with your kids, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to sleep sometime, and that leaves not enough time left to get the puppy trained. So Annie was adopted from us, and the family said she is absolutely great with kids. She loves other dogs, and she was in the midst of house training and crate training, but they felt like they just couldn't get it accomplished, so they brought her back. Now that she is almost a year old, she is actually 8 months, so there's 4 months till she's a year old, but now that she's almost a year old, it is not going to take long to house train her at all. She is even older than Zeus, which means it is possible to completely house train her in about a week. You'll need a crate and you'll need instructions from us, which we are happy to provide. And because her experience so far has been that she is not completely house trained, the way to do it is what we call the umbilical cord method. She's going to be leashed to your person or in a crate for 3 days. That'll help anyway with bonding because she's new to you, but we can help you get her house trained so that that problem is in her past, and everything else she has. She likes dogs, she likes people, she's polite, she's cute. Yeah, Randy said she sits when you ask her to. So if you have a treat, she's still working on the sitting for just the word. So she's just cute, and she's going to make somebody a great pet. But we do need to emphasize as much as possible, puppies are work, lots of work. Worth it, because once you get that work done, you have a great dog. But you have to know that up front, and you have to know that there's going to be some time spent that's not about you, that's about making her into all she can be.
Look at that face.
We will be back after a short break, bringing you some more adoptable animals from Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Hope you join us.
The original Frederick County, Maryland seal, dating back to the mid to late 1800s, depicted an unclothed farmer holding a spiked tooth harrow and a single shovel plow. In 1957, a former Rhodes Board engineer was asked to create a new decal for offices and office doors. He used a worn-out stamp of the original seal that was found in the old county courthouse and worked with the National Decalcomania Corporation in Philadelphia to design a modernized version to emphasize agriculture and agribusiness, industrial development, and the historical character of Frederick County. This design was approved on May 15, 1957. In 1986, the Board of County Commissioners directed the Planning Department to revise the seal and make it more environmentally friendly by removing smoke from the smokestacks. The board adopted a revised version of the seal in late 1986, showing the county's founding date of 1748, stars representing the original 13 colonies, the scenic Catoctin Mountains, the jug at the original jug bridge at the Monocacy River, an industrial building in the distance to show support of economic development, and in the forefront, a farmer sitting on sacks of agricultural products representing the county's dedication to the farming community. This seal is currently the official seal of Frederick County and may be seen on letterhead in county offices and public meeting rooms, as well as on the internet and on the county website and social media sites. For more information about the history of the Frederick County seal, visit www.frederickcountymd.gov/county seal.
The most important piece of equipment in your home is your smoke alarm, and it is probably the easiest and cheapest to maintain. Keep your family safe this year with regular smoke alarm checkups. Regularly check the batteries and perform periodic testing. For more information about smoke alarm safety and maintenance, visit the Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Services website at frederickcountymd.gov/smoke-alarms.
Welcome back. We are still at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, and now we are going to bring you some other adoptable animals, starting with cats. Our first guest is Elektra. Elektra is a beautiful tortoiseshell, short-haired cat, and she doesn't have any white markings. She's very typical of tortoiseshell pattern, which is black and orange mixed together. And she is about 7 years old, and she has already been declawed by her previous owner. So we often have people who want to get cats who are declawed or consider actually declawing their own cats. So there's a little bit of education required, because if you want to declaw a cat, you need to understand a couple of things. First of all, that there are some veterinarians who no longer do it because they believe that the surgery is pretty extreme when training can work. There are certainly many veterinarians who still provide the service, and they do it with sedation and pain medicine and help the cat afterwards with instructions for you at home. But we liken it to saying that you would remove the teeth from a puppy, which also could be done with sedation and pain management and soft food after until they heal, so that the puppy won't chew up anything valuable. Training is a better option. So it is absolutely true that cats can be more difficult to train than a puppy. And in part, puppies chewing things has a little bit to do with growing new teeth and youth, whereas cats scratching things is a lifelong behavior that cats have. They like to scratch prominent items in their territory. So all you do about that is you buy a scratching post or carpet remnant and put it in a location that they get attached to, and then they'll keep scratching that. What you also might have to do when you get new furniture is to temporarily put two-sided contact paper on it so cats don't get attached to something new. When you get a cat, we recommend that you keep them in the bathroom for a week until they're acclimated to you and done with their stage of hiding in a new place. And that when you let them out, you do so with supervision so that you can teach them not to scratch your belongings. I have had cats all my life. I have never had a cat ruin anything. I'm going to touch wood. But it's because I use the bathroom for a week and then supervision to protect my belongings. However, there are reasons that some people want to have declawed cats that don't have anything to do with training, and that is people that are immunocompromised. I know of a little girl who had her spleen removed, and she has to be really careful about not getting scratched by a cat, so she got a declawed cat. And we are happy to call you when we get a cat that is declawed. In fact, Elektra has someone who may be interested in adopting her if they come in and meet and like her because they are on the wish list to wait for a cat that's already declawed. We are back with Kia, and Kia's birthday is October 1st, so certainly we would want to see her out of the shelter before October, but sometimes this time of year that doesn't happen because she's an adult cat. And in April, we will start getting kittens, and between April and October, we get over 1,000 kittens through the shelter. So we are hoping to find her a home before a bunch of kittens arrive. She is a beautiful domestic medium hair, and she might even call her a domestic long hair. She's very pretty, white with brown tabby, as you can plainly see. She looks like a Norwegian forest cat. She's not. She's just a long-haired cat, beautiful green eyes, and a great personality. So I think she's going to make somebody pretty happy. A lot of times, any cat that has a trait that's a little bit different gets noticed first in the shelter. So it's helpful that she's colorful, that she has longer hair than average, but we never know what people are going to be attracted to when they come into the shelter. So we like to show you a variety of cat personalities and cat looks when we do the TV show, so that you can imagine what kind of cat you might like in your home. Some people worry that long-haired cats shed more than short-haired cats, and it's not true. Individual cats vary greatly in how much their hair is replaced, and it depends a great deal on how much light they're exposed to. So indoor cats don't have necessarily the seasonal input that stops their shedding. in the winter. And that's more from the period of light than it is from the temperature. So if you think that you would like a cat to sit on your lap that you could pet and brush, then perhaps Kia is the perfect match for you. We are back with Tiger, and Tiger is a year old, and Tiger has a sibling that you'll be meeting in just a moment. Sometimes people want to adopt 2 cats at the same time, and in the case that meets your needs, then Tiger and Pumpkin might be a good match for you to get. One of the things about getting 2 cats at the same time is that if you get litter mates, then they've already been exposed to all of the same germs, they already like each other, and they're going to be similar in other ways. But it is still not a guarantee that your cats are going to like each other forever. So if you ever want to get 2 cats, it doesn't have to be litter mates, but that can help the odds that they're going to stay friendly forever. But the other thing to consider is that if you only want 1 cat, don't feel like you have to take 2 because they're in the same cage. Ask us about their behavior. You can also check it out yourself by observing them. Sometimes you'll see 2 cats in shared space lying on completely different shelves at opposite ends of their enclosure. But when you see them in the same cat bed, even though there's 3 cat beds available, those are the cats that we consider a bonded pair that we like to adopt together because they really seem to get a lot out of being together. And because Tiger and Pumpkin are young, we don't know yet how they're going to feel about each other long term. They certainly enjoy each other's company now, and they play together. And if you work long hours, you might consider getting 2 because they'll entertain each other somewhat. She is a beautiful tabby cat. She has a little bit of orange coloring in her, so it's called Tortie, a combination of tortoiseshell and tabby, but it doesn't matter what it's called. It's just a way that we use to talk about cats when they're not in the same room with us, so that, for example, Randy can go and get one. We describe their colors pretty technically, but it's not really important.
It's not hard.
And this little girl, Randy was saying, she has that elegant, long, oriental cat look, if that interests you. And she's a little more shy than her siblings. So when you meet Pumpkin, you'll see the difference. And that's another reason that she might prefer to be adopted with Pumpkin, is because the confidence of being with another cat that is confident, that she knows well and trusts, might really help her come out of her shell. This is Tiger's sister, Pumpkin. And Pumpkin is exactly the same age. They're actual litter sisters. She is also long and lean and a beautiful cat. She is obviously checking out Randy since he just had her sister on his lap. And I think that they probably could be, companions forever if you want to get 2 kittens, but there's also no reason that you have to be locked into that. They seem very curious and a little cautious in this room, which is not unusual for young cats. One of the things I would recommend if you get 2 cats together is that you get plenty of cat furniture for them to climb on, because they're going to encourage each other to explore your house after the 1 week in the bathroom that we recommend. And they're going to chase each other. So a little bit of cat furniture would go a long way, because if you don't do that, then it's just going to be a little bit more work on your part to keep them off the tops of bookshelves and kitchen counters and whatnot. Well worth the effort. And it certainly can be accomplished. So one of the things about getting kittens that are litter mates is that they can have such a close relationship with each other that they don't need you as much. And one of the reasons that's a good thing is what we talked about with puppies. If you have a busy schedule and you work all of the time, then you're going to want to know that they're happy with or without you. It can also be fun if you have children at home that want a pet. Then they can each have their own cat, so to speak, one each that they name and that they're responsible for. And because they're litter mates and entertain each other, then it's not as complicated as if you went out and got an adult cat and then later got a kitten had to develop them separately. But it really is to each his own, and one of the things that is great about coming to the shelter is that since we get a number of animals new every day, that's hard on us, but better for you if you're looking for a pet, there's usually a pet that matches your needs and that you match the needs of. So we definitely encourage you to come often and stay for a while and take your time in choosing, because cats live 15 or more years. You really need to and want to pick the just perfect one so that all of that time you spend together is everything that it can be. Our next guest is Mama, and Mama is a 10-month-old guinea pig. She is all black except for one little left white foot, which is very cute. She is a typical short-haired guinea pig with her floppy ears. And because she's 10 months old and because she's been handled a lot, she's going to make somebody a really great little guinea pig pet. She's still quite young. Guinea pigs can live 4 to 10 years, and I know that sounds like a crazy range, but really we don't. I think it's because, although they can live for 10 years, people don't often take their guinea pigs to the vet for an annual checkup, which you absolutely should do. I know it sounds crazy, but if you find a vet that's a small animal vet, then they can really help you to know if your guinea pig has any health conditions that are causing problems, because one of the things that small mammals are very good at is hiding any signs of illness. And the reason that they've developed to do that is so that predators don't single them out to eat them. If they seem weak or slow or in some way easy to catch, then that is a risk. So birds and small mammals are very, very good at hiding illness, and that's one of the reasons that an annual checkup really is worthwhile, because a guinea pig veterinarian can tell so much more about her than you can by looking at her, even caring for her. Now, obviously, if your guinea pig were to stop eating or to act differently or make a strange noise that you're not used to, or have some lesion on her body or be bleeding, you would absolutely take her to the vet. But it is a great idea to do the wellness visits just to make sure you don't miss something. We have carefully selected her background color to accentuate her beauty. And I think she's showing up pretty well. But it's very, very hard to video or photograph dark, solid colored animals, because lighting, it's hard to see her little eyes, it's hard to see her little whiskers and her little nose. So I definitely recommend, if you are interested in getting a small mammal pet, come in and meet her. You don't have to take her home, but we can talk to you about what they need. They eat hay, they like to chew on things like cardboard and balsa wood, and there are a lot of ways that you can enrich their environment to make the cage interesting for her and interesting for you to watch. Guinea pigs are not athletic or agile like rabbits are, so obstacle courses not needed, and anything that they walk on a little ramp up to a height has to have a railing, because guinea pigs should not jump off of things. They can get hurt. So thanks for joining us on Pet Pals, and if you've seen an animal today that you think would make a great match for you or someone that you know, come in and meet them. Or if it's for someone else, then go to petfinder.com and find their profile and share that on social networking, or print it and post it somewhere where new people can see it. You could also share on Facebook this episode of Pet Pals. You'll see a link at the bottom of your screen that lets you do that. She's thinking about chewing on Randy's shirt. So if you have not seen an animal today that is right for you, don't forget we have a wish list. And if you're not interested in adopting at all and you're just watching for fun, then think about volunteering or passing the word around. We use a lot of pet supplies here. So if you have things in your garage that are just collecting dust, then think about bringing them by. We'll put them to good use, even if we can't use them here. We probably know someone who can. Thanks for joining us, and I hope we see you next time.